of the Zazu podcast. My name is Caroline, and you can find me on Ravelry as Woolbox, on Instagram as wool_box, and my Etsy shop at zazuyarns.etsy.com. How are you? I'm back from Italy, as you can see, back to my normal routine. I had a wonderful time. It was sunny, it was great weather, the smell of everything, because as I mentioned before, we live in the city of Utrecht, in the center. So being outside here is a lot different from there, where you're in the nature and you can hear birds and you don't wake up at night from people screaming outside your door because they had too much to drink. So it was wonderful. I woke up every morning really early when the sun came in our window, and I loved it. We ate lots of good pizza, which you can only eat in Italy because I don't like the thick. Sorry, I don't like the thick American ones. I like the really thin ones with the fresh stuff on it. And it was a blast. It was only 4.5 days, so not really long, but since we still have Indonesia, which will be 3.5 weeks, which is really long, ahead of us, I can cope with coming back. As I posted on Instagram, I met one of my knitting buddies from our Stitch and Bitch group in Utrecht here in Italy, which was really fun as well. We just went to the beach for a whole day and knit some and had lunch together, and then they came over to my parents' place because they wanted to see how they live there, and it was really nice, and it went by so quick. So but that's what happens when you're having fun, right? So I really liked podcasting from Italy because, I don't know, it was fun to show you what I was doing and let you enjoy a little bit with me from Italy. And that was a really weird sentence, but I'm not English, so you know what I mean. So I hope I can do this from Indonesia as well, because I know I will be making some really pretty pictures and videos there, so I really want you to be able to enjoy that with me, although I don't know if I will be having internet from there or Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi, whatever. So I will try to do that. And otherwise, I will at least try to film one episode ahead by showing you all of my other craftsy projects and all the knitting projects that I am kind of working on, but not because they're in the box thing I told you before. They're just not being worked on. So that might be something which is nice to show you, and if then that episode is not long enough yet, I can show you one of those knitting books that are over there. I will just see what I do. I still have a few weeks before we leave, but I just thought that would be a nice thing to do, a nice opportunity to share Indonesia with you guys, if you like that, of course. So if you don't like that, let me know. This weekend we started preparing for Indonesia, so while we still only have tickets to Indonesia, a ticket to Indonesia and from Indonesia back to Holland, we don't have any plans yet. We're first going to Java, and then we're going to Bali. And the first 2 weeks on Java will be backpacking weeks, so that will be a little bit rough. But then that means that the last 1.5 weeks on Bali will be well deserved. And over there we will be seeing some stuff, but we will be staying. Well, we didn't book anything yet, as I said, but we want to stay at a more luxurious type of thing. And I want to have all the massages and great food and cocktails I can get. So those first 2 weeks will be on Java, and we will be traveling around. So if you have any tips for that, tell me. So this weekend we shopped around for it a little bit. So I bought a headlight. What did I buy? I already had a backpack. I bought some of those really cute, not so cute, hiking pants, although these ones were pretty nice. We bought the anti-mosquito thing to put over your beds, and anti-mosquito stuff. Well, all types of things. If you think I need something really bad and I might not have it, tell me as well, because I want to be prepared. One big problem will be that I hate insects. I hate spiders. I hate... So, that will be interesting. And I don't know if I can do anything to prevent me from screaming the whole time. So, we'll just see how that goes. I don't know. It will be interesting. Then, because you're here for the knitting, I will just start with what I'm working on. So, I showed you some socks 2 weeks ago, and I don't know how far I was when I showed them, but I didn't do much on them. I have so many whips. I casted on so many things because you can never have too many things on the needles. I always say that's why I have 50 pairs of needles, but whatever. Oh, everything's falling down. So these socks are still ready to get the toe done. First sock, and then I have to do second sock. Fish lips, kiss heel, as I said before. So not really worth showing you. Really. Then I showed you my mermaid socks from Italy, and I call them my mermaid socks because they are knit out of my own hand-dyed yarn, Zazu yarns, in the mermaid colorway. Let's get those. And I forgot my sock blocker, so I will get that so you can see the sock properly, because I always forget that, and I like seeing socks on the blocker because then you can see the heel better. So 1 second. Here is the sock. So I have a hoe, I guess you call it. It's a light pink. Well, it's a light and going into a little bit darker pink, and a turquoise kind of green colorway. And you can see that it's kind of striping, but not really. So you can see that there's a repeat of 2 rows pink, 1 turquoise, 1 pink, 1 turquoise, and then again 2 rows of pink. So and that's of course different on the other side, but I like it. And then on the heel, when it gets smaller, you get the real stripes, and also on the toe. I did a fish lips kiss heel again, which I really like. I like the short row heel because you can just go on. I don't know, the heel with the heel flap and the gusset and all that stuff. I find that a little bit fiddly when you pick up the stitches and you are knitting it with magic loop method, because then it's the first rows are, I don't know, you might not have that problem, or you might understand what I'm saying. So I'm really happy about these, and they fit me perfectly, so that's a plus. So when we go walking in Indonesia, I think these socks would be really nice to wear my shoes. So that's good. And I already started the second one, because where do I put this? Because you don't want to have second sock syndrome. Although I have to say that won't be really possible, because I really like the way this yarn knits up. So this is the beginning of my second sock, and I did the ribbing, and I'm now working on the leg, and that will be fine. I already showed you the really weird cake. That's because me and my bowl winder don't get along that well. We did get along earlier, and now he's kind of in a I'm relaxing summer mood, and I don't want you to use me, or something like that. I'm knitting them on these wooden symphony wood needles, and I think these were a 3mm, like I said last time, and I don't have the gauge or the needle checker here, so I'm not sure, but I think it's 3mm. Then, what is next? Oh, yes. Since I'm making socks for me, for my trip, and we went buying stuff for our holiday to Indonesia, we found out that nice hiking socks are pretty expensive. So I did buy a pair, but they were 25 euros, which is about $35, I guess. So I thought, I'm not buying like 3 or 4 pairs of them, because I could also buy yarn from that. So I thought, let's also knit some socks for him. So I'm making these, and I'm trying to make them a really nice hiking socks, so they fit really well. So what I'm doing is I want to do the whole leg in 1x1 rib, so it just, I don't know, fits him better, is more snug on his leg. And I started by casting on 80 stitches, which is a lot, but because it has to go up his leg a bit, and it's not nice to have, to have it too tight. I thought 80 would be great, and it's really stretchy, as you can see. And I already decreased down to 72 stitches, and I guess 72 is the amount I would normally use for his socks. So I don't think I will be going lower, or at least not on the leg. So 1x1 rib. Then I will do a fish lips kiss heel. Then on the foot, in the middle of the foot, on normal hiking socks, you have a little bit more snug part, which feels great if you're walking. So I want to do that by either decreasing some stitches or using smaller needles for that part. I might do the second thing. So I'm working these on 3mm Nipro Novas, and I might go down to a size 2 or maybe 2.5. I don't know. But I will test that before, or just put a lifeline in and rip it out if it doesn't fit him well. But I think that will be nice I don't know, it always feels nice to me. And then go back to the normal size and do a regular toe decreasing, and then a Kitchener stitch. So these will take me a little more time than normal socks, because the 1x1 rib, as you know, isn't as fast as a normal stockinette. So this will go a little bit slower. And I'm knitting this out of Fable from Drops, which I showed you before. And it's in their 671 colorway, which is so inspiring. And it also says to use a 3mm needle. And it's a 50-gram ball, and I think I will be using another contrasting color for the heel and the toe, because my boyfriend has really large feet. It's a size 45/46, a European size, and I don't know what that is in American size, but it's kind of the biggest size you have in normal shoe shops. So I hope I can work on this a little more this week, but it will not be my main thing, and I will tell you about that later. Then, I started a shawl out of the yarn I bought 2 weeks ago, or showed you 2 weeks ago and bought years ago, as you know, as I always do. It's this yarn. And it's not really showing. Yes, it's this yarn. And unfortunately you can't really see the color as well, because what is this pale yellow on your screen is actually a fluorescent green, like really bright. I showed you this one before, but I ripped it out because I thought the tension or the gauge was too loose. So I started it again, and now with smaller needles. Oh, sorry for that. Come on! Oh, this is so annoying. Come on. Yes. And again, it's a shame that you can't see the colors the way they are, but I can't help it. Now I'm knitting them on these 3mm carbons from Nipro, interchangeable, and I finally have needles that say what size they are. but not for long because I know this will come off. But, well, whatever. And I like the gauge a lot more this way because then the colors come out better, I guess. And I will, this is not a pattern, I'm just making this up as I go. And I think I will just keep this a regular stockinette stitch, maybe add something fun to it, and then some kind of lace border. And before I said I would do that lace border in a contrasting color, but I think now I want to keep this just in this color way. So this is Drachenwolle, made in Austria, and the colorway is Mondstein und Perlmutt, which is German, but the translation is Moonstone and Mother of Pearl, I guess. And I don't know where you can buy this online for international. I bought it at Dol op Wol, which is DOL dash stripe is a dash, I don't know. OP stripe WOL.NL. But that's Dutch. So if you're not Dutch, then you might go there as well, but then you will have to try to figure it out in Dutch. But they have it, and they have all these other colors, and I really want to get the diamond colorway, or diamond something, which is beautiful as well. So if you're looking for something, this is a one ply. If you're looking for something different, then try this. It's really nice yarn, and it's really soft when you knit it up. So that's the shawl, which I haven't named. Then, I started something new again. I have all these new things, and I have to drink from my coffee. Love it. Okay. Oops. I've started a hat for Seep as well. Wow, isn't he a lucky man? I'm knitting all this stuff for him. Although I don't know if this one is going to be big enough, but we will see, and otherwise I will give it to one of my nephews. So, I will put this away. Yes. This is it. It's a hat which I kind of designed myself as well. So I started with a 1x1 rib in the gray, which is wool. It's yarn from here, from a big store that is called Hema. And if you're Dutch, you know this store, but it's not, well, I believe someone said there was one in Portugal, my friend who's living there, or did she just miss it, really miss it? I thought, no, she missed it, I guess. I don't know, but it's called Hema, Hema, and they sold some real wool, superwash wool yarn last winter, or at the end of the winter. So I hope it will come back. They didn't have it online, but they did sell it in the stores, in a few fun colors, which I thought were really nice for Fair Isle, because they had these typical nice colors. So I bought a little of that yarn, which looks like that, and also in some other colors, so you might be seeing some other knitted stuff out of that. And I started a 1x1 rib, and I did quite a few rows because I thought it would be nice to roll it up as well. And then I started a Fair Isle pattern, just doing the, just switching the blue and gray every other stitch. And rolled up, you can do it like that. If it's finished, when it's finished, or even higher, but then you won't really see what it looks like right now. But I just really like this pattern. I really like that. I think it gives a really nice effect to fabric, to the knitted fabric. So the only thing is it makes the hat less stretchy, at least when I'm working on Fair Isle. So I hope it will be big enough to put on his head, and otherwise it will be a nice Christmas gift, as I said, for one of my nephews, and they are not watching, neither is my sister, so I won't be having any problems. They already know this, so we'll see what happens. I might as well, even if it fits, knit them one of these, or a minion hat, because my biggest nephew is really into minions right now. He wants all the minion stuff. I'm knitting this, and this is pretty funny, or fun, I think. I bought a sampler set from Knit Pro, which had the carbons I just showed you. I'm working that shawl on in the set, and it had a wooden pair of needles, a simple wood, all interchangeable, which were a 3.5 millimeter. So the carbons were 3 millimeters, the wooden ones 3.5, and then there was a 4 millimeter set of cubics, Knit Pro. So these are not round. And I thought, let's try knitting with them on this hat. And I heard some reviews about these before, and some liked them and some not. And to be honest, there isn't a lot of difference for me. And I don't know why that is, but I think they're fine. But it's not like, oh wow, I'm going to buy a lot of these. No, it's just, it works. I will show you what they look like. And they are, as you can see, if you can read backwards, upside down, mirrored, or whatever, 4 millimeter needles. So that will be coming along, and I'm not in a hurry with this because he will be wearing this, well, in October or November. So it will take some while before he will want to wear this. Then, let's see. Oh, yes. This is a project I started a while ago, and it's kind of, I was, I don't know if you say it like that, but I was reluctant to show you this because it's kind of sad. It's a little bit of a sad project, because all the other people that are podcasting and showing theirs are showing, they have to step out of the screen to show it. It's that big, and mine is so small, it's not even a coaster yet. Or maybe it's a coaster, but it's not even a placemat yet, so it's kind of sad. But I'm going to show you. I started a sock yarn blanket or a scrap blanket. Well, and as you can see, this is nowhere near a blanket. It's not even near a pillow or a baby blanket. I can't even use it yet as a dishcloth because so I kind of want to dive under it because it's a little bit sad. It's sad. But I have a good reason for that because I just don't have that much scraps. That many scraps? Yeah, that many scraps. I don't have a lot of scraps. I do have a few extra now, so I will try to find the time and knit them into this. But this will be a project that will go on a really, really long time because I just don't have a lot of scraps, and the only way to get scraps is to knit a lot of things and have yarn left, right? So, or I might do a scrap. That's the point. I would like to do a scrap swap, but I don't have a lot of scraps to swap, so that kind of doesn't make sense, right? So, we'll just have to see. But I have 5 squares. So the first thing I want to do is add one here because I think this hole is it's sad. And this is the back. But I do think I will really like the finished product. I don't know how big I want to make this because I know I will not be making a king-size bed spread, whatever, out of this because I will never finish that. But maybe a small blanket to throw on our couch because I would really like that. And I think it's really nice if you knit a project like this, that you can see it every day on your couch and not have it lying on your bed upstairs. Well, we don't have an upstairs because our bedroom is right. Wow, that's weird. It's right there in that corridor. Well, it's really weird to do stuff if everything's, I don't know. But we are looking for a new house. We want to buy a house. So as soon as we bought one, we will probably be having an upstairs, or at least a bedroom where we will not be spending a lot of time, because then we will probably or hopefully have a really nice living room. So I will keep you updated about that as well. So that's that. I think I just thought, let's show you this, then you know that I started one. Then there will be a really nice project that I will hopefully cast on today or tomorrow, well, at least soon, because Maria from the Stitched in Sweden podcast asked me to, no, she didn't ask me, I volunteered to test knit for her, and she has a pattern now for me to test knit, which is a triangular shawl with lace, and it's beautiful. So as soon as she sends me the pattern, I will kind of ditch these guys and start that. And I think the first project that will suffer from that is the shawl from the Drachenwolle, because I can't knit 2 shawls at the same time, I guess. And that brings me to another problem that I also have to cast on my Stephen West Exploration Station shawl somewhere this month, because our Stitch and a few people from my Stitch and Bitch group that gathers every Tuesday are going to knit it with me, and I kind of initiated that, so I can't be saying, hey, who wants to knit this with me, and all these people are doing it and I'm not. So I still have to pick out the yarn combination for that, and I still don't know for sure what I am going to pick, but well, I don't know. If you want to do that with me, and we will be starting, I don't know when exactly, but I think I will be starting not this week, but next week somewhere. You can just start somewhere in August. I would really like if other people join me. I already opened a thread in the Zazu podcast group, but nobody commented anything in it yet, which is no problem. I mean, if you don't want to knit that shawl, you don't want to knit it, right? But if you have the pattern, or you are thinking about knitting it somewhere in the near future, then I would love if you joined us, and we could share pictures and maybe give each other tips on how to do stuff and pick the colors or whatever. And well, I would really like that. If you're not joining, then I would really appreciate if you help me find yarns, which I said before. So then check my Etsy shop and just pick 4 colors you think are really nice together. That said, I was talking about Maria's shawl, and I can't wait to start that as well. So Maria, if you're watching this, I love it and I can't wait. So I'm waiting. I'm excited and waiting. That's not the right way to say that, but whatever. Sometimes just a lot of poo comes out of my mouth, as you guys know. So let's move on. Oh, and one thing about that, I don't know if I can show you my progress on that, because of course the pattern is not released yet, but I asked her, so I will get an answer somewhere this week, and if she allows for me to show you guys how far I am on that shawl and what it looks like, then I will, and otherwise you will have to wait until it's published, and then I can show you what it looks like. Then finished objects. None, because how could I finish something if you have, I don't know how much. I have 2, 4, 6, and from tonight on, 7 things on the needles, which is a really, oh, and then I also have my own pattern, which I didn't work on because I have so much on the needles already. So I think that will be coming up. That will be, I don't know, maybe I will work on that from Indonesia, where I will have a lot of inspiration from all the things I see. So, no FOs. Then acquisitions, and have I got something for you? I have to take a sip from my coffee before it gets cold and get down the excitement from this one, because this is fantastic. I did a swap with Mina from the Knitting Expat podcast, and this was my first swap. I never swapped anything with other people. I gave some stuff away, but I never swapped. And oh my god, swapping is so much fun. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I watch her podcast every week, and you kind of get to know her like you probably get to know me, and you kind of know what she likes and stuff, and you can really put something together for someone. I like that. I like sending. I don't know. I like surprising people, I guess. So she picked some of my yarn and I put some mini skeins in as well, and some Dutch cookies for her and her husband, and that was already a lot of fun. But since I never get mail, period. I don't really get cards or other mail, and that's probably because I suck at mailing other people, because I'm better at I don't know. I don't know. I I don't know. Maybe it's not such not a real Dutch thing to do, because the Netherlands is a really small country. So if I have a gift or picked up something for someone, then I normally want to give that to them myself. But that's not possible if you want to do that for other people like you guys who live in America, or as Mina, she lives in Bahrain, which is a long trip from here. So I don't know. I normally never get mail, so it's so super exciting if you get mail which is yarn related, because I mean, that's in package heaven. That's or in package. I don't know. That's package heaven, right? To get some mail in that is yarn related, or at least yarn related or knitting related. So I'm going to show you what she sent me, and I might be doing this as a cliffhanger. So first of all, it came in this package. And as you can see, I was really excited, so I ripped it open. And don't you just love the stamps? I don't know if that's... And then, what was in it was all wrapped. So cute. And then she sent me all these sweets, and the fun stuff is it's all in Arabic, so I can't read it. Come on. Yes. So, and then these cuties, look at the wrap. It's this rainbow fluorescent wrap. And then some fruity stuff, and there's more, but it's all in the bag. And I love these, so I'm going to hide this little sweet stash from my boyfriend and eat it all myself. Then she sent me some teas for me to try. She sent me chamomile. She sent me Moroccan tea. And she sent me raspberry tea. So I will be trying those out soon. And then she sent me a really sweet note in a small envelope. This was the envelope, and it was clipped, and a card, which was clipped together with this cutie, which you can't see. Come on. Yes. And then, and this is so exciting, she sent me a stitch marker with her card. Come on. And it's a sheep. And I've always wanted a stitch marker or progress keeper with a sheep, and I didn't have one, and she just sent me one, and I didn't even tell her that, so that's so much fun, and I love her card. Um, but then the big surprise in it, which I'm totally in love with, are two project bags. Two sock project bags. And I have to be honest, I didn't own real handmade project bags yet. So these are my first ones, and I love them. So the first one is this pretty stripy one, which I love. I just love I don't know. It's so simple, but yet it's really stylish, and I don't know. It's wonderful with a strap, so I can knit with it in the car or whatever. And then her label is here, and it says, just like her shop is called Mina Makes. And I'm sorry because it's reversed again, or mirrored, but that's just what my camera does. So, and then it's lined with the same gray the strap is made out of, and I have the socks for Sieb in it. Oops, I have to close it. And then, really fun. This is a really fun one. I got this one with all the fruity things. So there is watermelon, strawberries, kiwis, pears, apples, pineapple, cherries, grapes, well, all this stuff. And I so love this fabric. Look at it. It's so much fun. And, oh, there are also bananas. And you can see her label here again. And it has a green bottom with a green strap. And again, the color is a little bit washed out because this green is a little bit brighter green. But I love this. And then it has a really nice zipper. Look at the color. The color is exactly the same as the green fruits in the bag. And it's lined with a light gray fabric. And I have my mermaid socks in it. And I love it. They stand up really well. I love them! So, if you want nice project bags, definitely order from her. They are so neat also. They're really well made. And I love the zippers. It's those, how do you say that? You don't see the teeth. So it's, I don't know. See that? I love them! So, Mina, thank you very much, because I love these and I will be using them every day. I really love them. Thank you so much. I will, how do you say that? I don't know. I will keep them safe with me and treasure them. So that's a really nice acquisition, and I didn't it didn't take up more room actually, so that's a plus for my boyfriend, because yarn went that way and I got bags back, so no more yarn. Then let me see. Oh yes, I thought of doing a new segment, or starting a new segment, a question and answer segment. So I will open up a question thread in the Zazu podcast group on Ravelry, and where you can ask me all kinds of stuff. Um, and I want you to ask you stuff as well because, well, I'm making these videos, but I don't see a lot from you guys, and I would really like to have more interaction between us because we are knitting and chatting every Monday, Tuesday, or whenever you see this, and I want to see you more often or hear from you more often. I don't know. Whatever, just get in touch with my knitting buddies. So, ask me whatever you want to ask me, of course. And then I have two questions for you guys. The first one is, what type of project do you like most? Or is your go-to project or your favorite project? And then I mean, are that socks or hats or mittens or scarves or shawls or sweaters? What do you like knitting most? Do you have a favorite type of project, or do you just switch between bigger and smaller ones? Or do you maybe have a favorite technique you use in different projects? It's also possible. So please let me know in the Zazu podcast Ravelry group. And then I have another question, which is more for me, I guess, but maybe also for other people watching or traveling. As you know, I am going to Java and Bali in September, as I already told you before, and in this podcast or episode. Does anyone know a really nice yarn shops over there? Either on Bali or Java or both, because I would love to pick up some yarn over there and see what they have. And of course, if there are multiple shops I have to go to, I will go to them all. And I will just keep my boyfriend happy by buying him nice food, because he is always happy if he has something nice to eat. Men, right? So, if you know a nice yarn shop that I can't miss when I go there, please let me know. And I know there are probably not that many people from Indonesia watching, but maybe someone visited Indonesia or knows someone that visited a yarn shop over there or whatever. I already checked Google and I looked around and I can't really find shops, or I find some old posts in a forum and then it sends me to a yarn shop, and if I go to their website, the website is already offline, so I think then they're out of business or stopped their business. So please, if you know something, I would really appreciate it. And okay, I have a great idea. The person with the best tip, I'll take something home for that person. So the person with the best tip will get a nice package from me as a thank you. So if you know something, please let me know. Then oh yeah, the shop. I updated the shop and put the new colorways in it. I said I was going to do that before I left for Italy, but unfortunately I just didn't have the time. I had to work the whole week. Actually, I had to work before I left to catch my plane, so I worked that day and then got home, packed my stuff really quick, and then jumped into the car to go to the airport. So I didn't have time to do that. But I did when I got back, and I didn't have time yet to dye some of the colors that are sold out. So I'm going to do that as soon as I finish podcasting, because it's not even noon yet here on my Monday talking to you guys. So, I will try to pick up that rhythm again. It's just sometimes I have to figure out a good schedule to work with to update the shop, because on some Fridays I'm off, and on some Fridays I have to work. So normally usually I die on Fridays. That sounds like I'm dying whatever. I think the word die sounds really weird, because dying and dying. D-Y-E and D-I-E. Well, whatever. Sidetrack! Okay. Normally I'm dying every Friday, but when I have to work on a Friday, I can't die, and my boyfriend hates it when I die in the weekend. I sometimes do that, but he doesn't really like it because it kind of gives a smell. It gives a smell, and we live in a really tiny apartment of just 45 square meters, and I don't know what that is in foot, but I can imagine that some of you people have a bedroom that's 45 square meters. So it's just really tiny. So that's why we're looking for a house as well. So I just have to figure out a schedule that works. And since we are leaving for Indonesia in 3 or 4 weeks, I don't know, 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, that schedule will be messed up again. Also, I will try to dye up some extra before I leave, and my best friend will send orders out if you order through Etsy. So I will not close down my Etsy shop because she offered to help me, which is really nice. Although sending stuff out may take a few days extra, because she will be doing that on or actually from her way to work, because she works pretty close to where I live, where my house is. So when she finishes work, 1 day a week she will go to my home. I will give her my spare key. She will go to my home and pack the orders that came in and ship them. So that's how we're going to do that. And so then you guys can still order my yarns if you want to. Other than all of that blather, I don't have a lot to tell you. I hope you can help me and tell me some stuff about yourself as well in that group. And if not, I mean, no obligations. If you don't feel like it, don't do it. Which counts for almost everything in life, right? I don't know. I just hope you have a really nice week, and that you have nice weather as well. We still have. And that you will be able to put in a lot of knitting hours. Happy knitting, everyone!